Hello students, how are you? I am Dhananjay Singh and today we are going to discuss a new topic. You can see Revolt of 1857. This topic is very important both for UPSC and BPSC examination, because I have seen that many times questions from this topic have been asked by UPSC and BPSC. So you are supposed to listen my lecture attentively so that you could write any question based on this topic. Okay. For your convenience, I have classified this topic into various small components, units. For example, the first point is time of the revolt of 1857. Second point is the place of this revolt, means the first time, a place where this revolt was witnessed. Then after, revolt by whom and revolt against whom. Revolt by whom and revolt against whom. Then we have to discuss about the basic causes behind the emergence of revolt. And I have classified the basic causes into two parts. One is immediate cause and second is long-term causes. Then we have to also study about the expansion of revolt. Okay? Then the basic causes behind the failure of revolt. And then after, result of revolt of 1857. And finally, the character of revolt, means its nature, its dimension. Okay. And eventually we have to also discuss about some question based on this revolt. It means the total points of this topic is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It means we have 6 points to be discussed. So let us discuss one by one. See, the revolt of 1857. First, let us discuss its time and place. Place was Barakpur. Barakpur in Bengal. First time on 29th March 1857. Some Indian sepoy led by a Brahmin sepoy of Uttar Pradesh, Mangal Pandey, raised a banner of revolt against British government. And this was the first flame of this revolt that was witnessed at Barakpur in Bengal against the mighty British Empire in India. Mangal Pandey also killed his officer. But this revolt was suppressed by British government. And Mangal Pandey was arrested and he was hanged to death. But it was not the end of the revolt. It was not the end of the fire. It was only a flame of the fire. Next, 10th May, place Meerut. Uttar Pradesh. Again, Sepoy of Bengal Regiment. Sepoy of Bengal Regiment. Again they led a massive revolt against British government. And on 11th May 1857, Sepoy of Bengal Regiment came to Delhi and made Bahadur Shah Jafar, the Mughal emperor, as the leader of this revolt. And thereby, this revolt came to emerge into a massive revolt against British government, which shook the whole foundation of British Empire in India for a time being. Even Lord Canning, the British Governor General, he said, it seems that we have to reconquer India. Imagine about the gravity of this revolt of 1857. It was the first revolt witnessed by British government since the Battle of Plassey, which shook the whole foundation of British government. Let us explore the reason behind the occurrence of this revolt against British government. Second question is, revolt by whom? And revolt against whom? Against whom? Two questions. This revolt was led by Indian Sepoy of Bengal Regiment, Indian soldiers of Bengal Regiment against the mighty British Empire. British Empire. Why? The basic goal was, the basic objective was to dismantle this mighty British Empire and thereby re-established the Mughal Empire and thereby emancipate the Indian people from the clutches of imperial, racial British Empire in India. Right? In brief, we can say the goal was to destroy the whole fabric of racial, imperial British Empire in India, and thereby replant their own system, their own governance led by Mughal Empire, Mughal Emperor, led by Indian people, led by Indian princes. This was the goal of this revolt. Next question. A question is, why did the revolt of 1857 occur? A question is, why did the revolt of 1857 occur? Suraj, good morning, good afternoon. Anand Kumar, this class is totally devoted in Angla Bhasha, English medium, because I'm not speaking Bhojpuri and Hindi. Okay. So, join this class immediately, because we have started this class just now. Okay. A basic question is, why did the revolt of 1857 come to emerge? Was it Sepoy mutiny? Was it a Sepoy mutiny? No. It was certainly not a Sepoy mutiny. Rather, it was more than Sepoy mutiny. It was more than Sepoy mutiny. It was more than Sepoy mutiny. As American historian said, Stanley Ulpert American historian, he writes, the revolt of 1857 was more than a Sepoy mutiny. More than a Sepoy mutiny. ... It less than a national war of independence. A war of independence. It was said by American historian Stanley Ulpert. See, it means this statement of Stanley Ulpert reveals that the revolt of 1857 was not merely a Sepoy mutiny. it was more than Sepoy Mutiny. My dear, this statement was put by UPSC as a question. It was taken by UPSC as a question many times. And so I am sure in future this statement could be placed by BPSC also in your mains examination. So let us proceed further. I told you, since it was more than Sepoy Mutiny, it means the seed of revolt of 1857 was inherent in the nature of British Empire. In India. My dear, this could be another question for UPSC and BPSC. This statement could also become a question for BPSC and UPSC. See, the seed of revolt of 1857 was inherent in the nature of the mighty British rule, the mighty British Empire in India. It means in order to find out the basic causes behind the occurrence of this revolt, we have to throw light on the socio-economic, religious, cultural, political, administrative, judicial and military system of India, which was badly damaged by British government in the last 100 years. In the last 100 years, remember, in June 1757, and this is May 1857, June 1757 means the War of Plassey, the Battle of Plassey. And May 1857 means the revolt of 1857. In between this period, there is nearly 100 years. Nearly 100 years. And so, we have to explore the basic causes of this revolt in this 100 years. In this 100 years. So let us proceed and find out the basic causes behind such a devastating revolt of 1857. The causes of revolt of 1857. This could be classified into two parts. One was immediate immediate cause, and second was the long-term cause. Right. Let us first explain the immediate cause of this revolt. The immediate cause was issue of grist cartridge, grist cartridge. It was the immediate cause of revolt. The use of grist cartridge. Okay, in the rifle given by British government to her sepoy. In this issue, it was said that the bullet of rifle was made of the fat of cow and pig. It was a rumor that the cartridge given by British government was made of the fat of pig and cow. And so the Indian sepoy realized that British government is making effort to deprive them from their religion, and that's why they denied to use this cartridge and also revolted against British government. But I think it was not a single reason. It was not the main reason. And so we have to throw light on the long-term reason behind the occurrence of this revolt. Though it was said by some historians that it was a sepoy mutiny, because first time it was led by sepoy of British army, so it was told by someone that it was a sepoy mutiny. A question is, issue of grist cartridge could not create such a huge revolt against British government. Very simple. This is not logical to acknowledge that the issue of grist cartridge could create such a tremendous revolt against British government. So we cannot accept that it was merely a sepoy mutiny, because it is right that in the beginning this revolt was led by sepoy, but later on sepoy also got support of various people of Indian society, like peasants, like zamindars, some rulers. It shows that it was more than sepoy mutiny. It shows that the causes was more than the issue of grist cartridge. So let us explain all those reasons behind the occurrence of this revolt. Long-term causes of revolt of 1857. This could be, number one, political. Number one. Number two, administrative, military, judicial. Number three, economic. Number four, social, cultural, and religious. These are the basic reasons behind the occurrence of this revolt. So let us highlight one by one. First, political. Political causes. Number one, since the Battle of Plassey, in June 1757, the British company conquered almost all parts of India, like Bengal, like Hyderabad, Karnataka, Mysore, Maratha, Rajputana, Central India, Punjab, almost all regions of India. From 1757 to 1849 means Second Anglo-Sikh War. And thereby, this British company replaced Indian rulers from their own kingdom, from their own regions. It was natural that all those rulers who had lost their regions, they became hostile to British government. They became hostile to British government because their regions were taken by British company. And this British company presented many imperial mechanisms, many colonial instruments to manifest its imperial ambition in India. For example, Lord Wellesley, from 1798 to 1805, this man presented a colonial instrument of subsidiary alliance. Subsidiary alliance. In the name of invasion of Napoleon, and thereby Lord Wellesley compelled Indian rulers to accept British supremacy. For example, in 1798, Nizam accepted subsidiary alliance. In 1799, Mysore accepted subsidiary alliance. In 1801, Nawab of Awadh also accepted subsidiary alliance. Later on, Dalhousie also came to India. Lord Dalhousie, from 1848 to 1856, and Lord Dalhousie also presented an imperial instrument known as the system of doctrine of lapse. This is known as a colonial system of doctrine of lapse. And by this system, Dalhousie merged Satara, Sambhalpur, Udaipur, Jhansi, etc. So imagine that all these colonial instruments were man-made, were manufactured by British government to fulfill its imperial ambition in India. So it was the first region behind the occurrence of this revolt against British Empire. Next. The second political reason was British company also denied to give pension to Nana Sahib, who was the adopted son of Peshwa Bajirao II. Therefore, the Marathi people were also opposed to British government. Similarly, British government also disrespected then Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Jafar when he was told by British company to leave Red Fort, and live near Qutub Minar. It was really a disrespect to the Mughal emperor, because Red Fort was the symbol of Mughal sovereignty, and he was compelled by British company to abdicate Red Fort and have a new shelter near Qutub region, Qutub Minar. So the sympathy of Indian society for the Mughal emperor was not respected by British company. So these are the various political reasons behind the occurrence of this revolt. Okay. Now, let us take new point. Administrative